So you guys sick enough of that fake Deadpool and coming, missing the real bread stool, that shit stick Ryan Reynolds making too much money and like a shit stick starter of World War III. I think he's trying to do that. I think that's the problem. I think that's what it is. The red and the black. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense here, but it's not working. And then you got these XY chromosomes with X shit sticks everywhere. And I had a better thing written, but I can't breathe in this fucker.
Well, hello, boys and girls.
Hi.
What a wonderful day it is today in our money-based economy. Well, sit back and relax and get ready for the guy who's about to ruin everything.
I'm puzzled. Are you really seriously suggesting that Jesus Christ was a mushroom?
Wait, Jesus was a mushroom, Roberts.
Yes. You are dealing with a secret cult, a secret society.
Welcome to Waning Interest.
Welcome to Breadstool 157
Excuse me, it's 157.
Like I said, August 2nd, 2024, the Babbling Dabbler, the smallest click on the internet, the pinball brain in your favorite machine. It's like a diarrhea book, but not as still or coherent. Or if Mikey Mouse and the Goonies played a lot of bareback leapfrog and then ploppity ploppity, fizzity fizzity. We are felt live on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. And then there's also the Patreon, links below in all description. PayPal if you don't want to do the Patreon. And the Twitter and the Instagram, all that shit on the audio only. Dude, I was listening. I accidentally started listening to 150, the audio only, because it popped up in my YouTube thing. And I said thing. And I'm just listening to it. Oh, go ahead, let it run for a bit. I went, damn, it's so much different without that, because I'm normally having to do all the clips and stuff. I do the clips, so it's always video shit. I'm like, man, I really do enjoy that audio only, that radio, old radio thing.
What do you think about that
Oh, I can see. I'm like Eddie Murphy now in Trading Places. I can see.
But can you breathe?
I can certainly. I have a little more freedom with my breathing, and it's not fogging up the glasses.
Okay.
So have you seen Dead? What is it? Oh shit! Sorry.
Deadpool. Is it Deadpool and Wolverine, or is it just Deadpool Wolverine?
I think it's Deadpool and Wolverine.
No,
Breadstool and Pull My Ween
not yet.
for the audio
We're-
only.
We're supposed to go this weekend.
I've seen it 3 times already.
I know, you told me.
Would you like some spoilers? Are you sure?
I haven't even looked at the what do you call those? The previews.
No, you haven't seen any trailers or anything?
No.
Well, one of the best parts I thought of the movie, one of the things that they didn't give away, which I have to right now because it's part of my open, where in all the stuff that I saw before with all the geeks that reviewed it and stuff, the non-spoiler and the spoiler review stuff, they never mentioned the Legolas. I didn't remember any of them mentioning the Legolas Deadpool, which, it's Ryan. It's from a different, whatever, but he's got hair like Legolas from, like basically like I used to have and no longer do.
God.
And I was sitting there watching, like, wait, that's, it was, just as the, I don't know, I just realized, yeah. Anyway, she just got home from the club. The club. What was I saying? Oh, the when I just as a joke and just saying weeks before. However, whatever whip it was when I first started doing that with the thing, before I even cut the eyes out so I could fucking see. It
Hmm.
was just a little. It was just a stupid little joke, whatever. And then I pull that off, and I've got that long hair with the fucking ponytail. And then all of a sudden, I'm watching the movie. I'm like, and it's hilarious too. That one, because it's not really a spoiler, but it's too bad. Too bad. There's a lot of Deadpools at one point.
Okay.
There's a lot of everybody at one point. There's a moment that's similar. It kind of reminds you of Endgame.
Okay.
And there's there's some really good stuff in there, but I definitely agreed with many of the reviewers that were like, it's by about 15, 20 minutes too long. There's a point where you're like, this should be over by now, right?
Oh, Mr. Beckham is in the room. So is Jeff.
Oh, Mr. Boyle, Mr. Beckham, in a world when you're a fan of... Shit, I should have read that first. Beachhead. Beachhead? Is he... Beachhead. Is there something I'm missing there? Beachhead, kind of like Bicho Chiquito. In a world where you're a fan of Beachhead and mask yourself. Oh, that Beachhead. I'm still lost. Oh man, still getting used to it too.
We'll get it. I know.
You got it. You did something. Your hair's a little different too.
I did my bangs. I do it myself,
I did it myself. Get the fuck out of here. No, I did it myself. Anyway.
Put layers in it and some color. Not that I need to cover anything, It's just color.
You did it all yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have Juan Jess do it.
No.
Not after. Why not? After I told you, he's an artist.
I know he's an artist, but his father's a barber, and his father, tried to get him to learn to be a barber, but he's like, I don't want to do that. He's like, when I draw, I can draw with pencil, and if I make a mistake, I can erase. If I screw up somebody's hair, I can't fix it. So
I don't mean the cutting. I don't mean the cutting part. I mean the coloring part.
Oh no, he doesn't know how to dye hair. I've been doing this since I was.
It's not that hard. I used to do it. I mean, well, speaking of hard, I don't know why you wouldn't have him do that. I told you that's what my ex-wife. That's what I used to do. I used to do that, and then it would turn into a fantastic hour of
But listen,
I'm kidding. It was 5 minutes.
You went to beauty school.
That was after. That was after, only on her suggestion because of me doing it. But it's just fucking putting a little bit of color here and there and wrapping it in aluminum foils. Not that difficult. You guys, geez, it's like you're not even listening. It's like you're like everybody else.
Listen.
Man, and listen. Not the brain.
We share a birthday. You should know that I'm a perfectionist. I got to do it myself.
Yeah, but I can't cut my hair by myself. I mean, I have shaved my head a few times, but I can't do that. But I'm the one that does tweak it after it does get cut. I have to come home and, fix a few things here and there. Mm-hmm. But the point is that it's, for a couple. I mean, I can only imagine. I would assume, being a consumer of listening to shit like this, that after hearing a story of, oh wow, that's pretty cool, you color your wife's hair and she sits there for that hour and a half while you're doing all that stuff, she ain't got no shirt on, she's just reading, and every once in a while you can go a little, what's happening, baby? And grab her breasts, give her a little massage, whatever. Once, sometimes you have to take those gloves off because your hands sweat really bad in those gloves, but you got to wear the gloves, otherwise your fucking fingers are all fucked up for a bunch of days. Mm-hmm. And and then after, every time. That's why it's so great.
All right, well,
and now I can't understand why anybody would hear that story and not do that. Especially, see, we should have waited for your birthday and had him do it on your birthday. Whose birthday is that?
No, this got to be pre-birthday hair.
Oh.
Somebody.
Oh, what do you think about that one?
PB says you look 10 years younger.
I look 10 years dumber. That's a what do you call it?
Typo?
Yeah, or autocorrect.
Ah,
She meant dumber. I'm pretty sure. I know that's what it looks like. So that's why. Oh yeah, got it back. It is so, what a difference though too. Seriously, when you don't put the shades on, because then you don't fog them up. What the fuck happened? I know it. Sorry for the audio only, folks.
he's
The
having
eyes.
trouble
It's like
finding
the
the
eyes
holes.
have moved. Oh, there it is. There we go. Oh yeah, and like you
They have
pointed
a
out, I
third
got.
eye.
Yeah, my third hole is a third eye. My pineal. Bling. I wish I should have I should make a thing for my
Mm-hmm.
my index finger so I can do like the ET thing for people sometimes.
There you go.
Boop. Put your head up to the side there.
Over here, right?
Yeah, but you gotta face the face. Now you gotta turn your head.
Like this.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. No, no, no. Yeah, there you go. Now go forward. More. Forward more. Forward more. Boop. There, it's good enough. Thank you very much. There you go.
Oh, what do you think about that one?
All right, I should probably turn the page. Where were we?
We're talking about your hair.
Oh, my hair.
And then
Did you
what?
have that? Did you? Oh, yeah. Oh, and then she also shaved my pubes.
Yeah, that Brazilian must have hurt
Oh,
a lot.
that literally, that all of that is just from me bung.
My goodness.
She started with scissors, but it wouldn't work. So then she went and got a machete.
You had a lot of gray hair down there.
Oh yeah, sorry for the audio only. It was a nice big ball of hair.
Mm-hmm.
Man, did I feel naked afterwards? And so
You must feel
light.
so light. Yeah, light and free.
My biggest fear was when I jumped in the Jeep, when I jumped into Kate, and turned the music on and started, and I'm like, I wonder if I can still sing. I was worried it was going to be that. Who's the fucking dude that cut his hair and lost his power?
Oh,
Come on, Oracle.
I know who you're talking
Samson, right?
about. Uh-huh.
Is it Samson?
I think so.
Yeah, that's what I was a little worried about. Kind of like with Freddie Mercury. That's why he wouldn't fix his teeth. He was worried it would mess up his voice,
Mm-hmm.
which can happen. Yeah. Did you hear that? I wasn't really comparing myself to fucking Freddie Mercury, but either way,
Man, Jesus Christ!
apologies.
Well, that
To everyone out there, especially Freddie. What?
that was my understanding, that they said that something about the amount of teeth in his mouth. He had like was it extra room or something? So that, I don't remember. It had something to do with his teeth.
I
know
think
he
he
had
had a
more
few
teeth.
extra teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which expanded something, maybe
Yeah.
gave him a little more of a what? Fucking Freddie. I gotta go back to. It's been a while since I listened to some Queen. I kind of got turned off from that fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
Even though everybody did a great job. Oh, did you know that in the movie, the guy that plays John Deacon, the bass player, that's the kid from the original Jurassic Park. The dude from yeah.
Oh, okay.
Even though he only had like 10
wow.
lines in the movie,
Uh-huh.
he fucking murdered. He was great. Everybody was great, but it was the PG bullshit version of Freddie Mercury's story and their story. Ugh. Even though like I don't like Sacha Baron Cohen because of some of his views or whatever, and it's fucking douchebag. But he would have done a better job. He wanted to do a darker version, but they didn't want to do that because Brian May, those guys are they make too much fucking money. They don't need to make any more money. Go ahead.
They did a really good job recreating the live
that Live Aid thing.
Live Aid concert. Yeah.
No, the performance stuff, and that because that's what I'm mostly critical of during watching those kind of movies, which I don't really watch anymore. But yeah, they did a fantastic job. But it was the story was horseshit. When he informed them about being sick and so much stuff, it should have been more taxi driver of a feel, more Joker. Like, it could have been not Joker. That's a horrible comparison. But just dark. It was there was parts that there's a lot of bullshit. Most of them are just like that. That's why, again, I never walked out angrier from a theater than after that fucking piece of shit Doors movie in '91.
Yeah, I guess, trying not to offend too many people, I guess.
And those were the things that I used to look forward to that stuff, but now it's But they do a better job of the looking like musicians and mocking that stuff. There is a bunch that do it. Like apparently in what's that, the Elton John movie? I didn't see it, but saw enough to where did the same kind of deal. Stories, a lot of bullshit in the story, but the performance stuff was better. Where it used to be when they made those movies, the performance stuff was the stuff where you're like, and the story was good and usually a little more on the nose.
Yeah.
But I didn't even. How the hell did we get into that?
Yeah. How did we get into that?
Oh, singing.
Yeah.
Besides rehearsal lately, Flash, the keyboard player of the Lords, him and his son Damien, who plays sax and sings, they were at this place called they play Grand Central Piano Bar in Lake Sebago, and I went to just see them just for fun and have a drink, get the hell out of the house. And also to get my money from the last show that we did, because when I met up with Flash to get my money and have a little lunch and a drink, 20 minutes after he left, I was like, wait a minute, he forgot to give me my fucking money. So I was going to get that too. But I wasn't gonna, I didn't have any, I wasn't thinking about getting up, with them. It's a small place, and he just has a piano. He doesn't have his keyboard, it's not plugged in. And anyway, the lady that owns it, Karen, awesome voice. And one of the bartenders, Jack, he got up and he did some stuff that was great. But then, of course, they had me come up and, When first we did Lost Little Girl, which I did not want to do. And that wasn't the first one, actually. That was the second one. What was the first we did? Oh, Lover Madly we did first. Me and Flash and Damien. And then later on, I got back up there and did Roadhouse and Riders on the Storm. Then she decides to do Honky Tonk Woman Stones, which last time I did that song, I actually did that. One of the bands I did was 2015. I've done that song. There's pictures of me doing, you can see pictures of me doing the fucking Mick thing as funny, and it's not. Well, it was at the time. Anyway, she says, Wayne, get on the other mic and, do this together. I'm like, I fucking blanked. It was like an oral report in, 8th grade. I'm like, you just got up there and I blanked. I'm like, I don't remember the words. Later, love. I couldn't even, and what the fucking song's about. How do you forget those words? But I could not. And Damien's like, here, get closer to the mic. I'm like, I would, but I can't remember the fucking words. I didn't even want to do. I was so out of in my head, I couldn't even do the honky tonk woman without feeling like I was going honky tonk. I shouldn't be up here.
I'm still disappointed I don't have video of you doing Don't Go Breaking My Heart karaoke.
Because we didn't do it.
Don't go breaking my heart.
Because I never did it.
Well, that's your next project.
We were supposed to do it with PB at PB and GB's party, but it never happened. I just didn't. I didn't want to. Everybody was. All the other folks were having such a fun time with it, and I'm not gonna go. I didn't want to make it the Wayne show, the Wayne's Anus show, and everybody's having such a fucking great time. And GB, Jesus Christ, he just stayed there most of the time, just getting. He was hilarious. But that was what we, supposed to do that with PB, but it didn't happen. Just for funny, because,
That was such a big song when I was a kid.
Wasn't it? And she was, and, I can't say her name.
Was it Tennille? No.
No,
No,
but she
no.
kind of looked like Tennille
yeah.
from Captain and Tennille. No, it's, look it up.
Oh my God.
You're the one on you got the computer. Can't.
I find it. And it was Elton John, right?
Mm-hmm. Candy? Not Candy. And she was
Kiki D.
Kiki D. She was so adorable.
Mm-hmm. That and who was the other one? Oh my gosh. Tony Orlando and Dawn. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but Dawn was Dose. There was two girls. It was Tony,
two girls.
Yeah, it was Tony Orlando and Dawn, but Dawn was actually...
and Tony Orlando was his name. Yeah, Dawn was just the two girls.
I remember going. It was a little kid. See, when they came on some show, I remember asking my dad, I'm like, "How come they're? Didn't they say it's Tony?" I remember trying to put it together, going, "Wait, why is there a third girl there? Why is there a third person?" You people sent me to school. I'm doing math here at
I used to play his record on my Ladybug record player.
The Ladybug. You had a Ladybug.
Mm-hmm.
And?
It was a record player. It was a 45.
Go on.
Um,
Come on.
What?
What year?
Oh God.
What years? I'm sure it lasted a while.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Cause was it like the suitcase type one?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think mine was
Had a
red.
handle, carry it around.
Yeah, I think mine was red if I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, mine was in the shape of a ladybug, and I carry it around.
Did you have any of those? Did you have those books where the like a read along book where you put the record on and then it had pictures along with the words?
Yeah, I had one of those.
That shit was cool.
Those came back for a bit. I don't know if they're still selling them, but
the late 70s were pretty fucking badass.
mm-hmm.
I rewatched Dazed and Confused, and then I watched and then I'm standing in the store the other day, and they've got the regular radio on WBLM, which I mentioned, I think 156. The Blimp, Frank. It's the Blimp, that classic rock station here since I can remember, since I was a kid. And they said Sunday nights they had the Zepp set, and then right after the Zepp set was Dr. Ruth. Couldn't wait to listen to Dr. Ruth. Anyway, so yeah, I was in the store, and I knew it was after 4:00, but standing in line, and right out of a commercial, all of a sudden I hear, "Say, man, you got a joint?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? What the fuck am I listening to?" And I hear that, "No, not on me, man." And then I'm hearing some shit behind me. "Well, it'd be a lot cooler if you did." Blah, blah, 420 on WBLM. Like, what the fuck just happened? They just took a fucking weed reference out of a movie, and now it's part of a sweeper on on a regular radio. I'm like, I know I've heard. I don't know. It was just kind of weird to me, even though I'm a weed dude. It's just because I don't listen to the radio anymore, so it was just kind of weird, even though I've heard commercials for dispensaries on the radio, the accidents that I have when I do listen to it. Because, I mean, I literally avoid that shit. It's almost always an accident, or if it's in a store. If I do not listen to the radio. As soon as I as soon as I climb into Kate, I plug in. Literally plug in. I do a double plug. I'm already in, and then I plug in again. I plug my phone in, and I go straight to my YouTube playlists, and and anyway, I cannot fucking stand it. It's so crazy that it's I don't know. It's got that flavor of you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. It's got that flavor of you love those old radio days, but now listening to it just makes you want to fucking vomit. And no offense to the talent on the air that I've heard. I hear some great jocks or whatever. It's just I can't take the constant. You really understand that barrage of it's a different form of, a lot of it's a different form of propaganda.
Yeah.
Even music wise. Because you can, let me see as an example, even though this is hilarious, but, once you realize, that there's a month that's gone by where, no new rejoins or whatever. So, and you're doing a 4-hour show. So, and there's only 7 rejoins. So you're going to hear, in 4 hours.
This is another snappy liner from the guy with a deep voice. 610 WIOD.
Don Shula, I f***ed them. Oh!
You know what I mean? And as
Yes.
fucking hilarious as that is, when you hear it, 3 times in a 4-hour shift or whatever, you kind of, all right, we need more. Yeah, 7's a lot. You gotta. There's a bunch, but
Yeah.
it can get a little tiresome.
Or if it's your own voice that you're hearing.
Holy shit, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was good. It's like I turned into at one point when I was in the production department doing the voice stuff with Bark Hoffman, and it was him, and Doug Turkle all over the place and all spread across the 7 stations so much. I turned into Tom Hopkins, how I learned from him doing First News when I had first started as board op from that 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. show that he did, sitting there smoking cigarettes, reading out of the paper. He was the one that taught me, all right, we got, what's the log say? Oh, we got 2 car spots there. Yeah, put this one in the middle, break those up. Don't do car spots back to back. So I kind of turned into that. Years later, I'm going into the fucking control room. These board ops are in there going, oh yeah, see on the log here, just play if you can, just notice, play them, in cue, off the air, play them, and you'll see the voice. Try to separate, try to separate so it's not fucking bark and bark, 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 bark.
Yeah.
Or the weenus.
Yeah, a lot of times they didn't pay attention to that at all.
Oh my Christ, it didn't matter, dude. It's one of those where I've always been one that never, when I left you in 2002, when I said bye-bye to Susie and Juan Jess at my going away party was where they came out as a couple. What was my fucking point? Oh, I left. I left, and I didn't do that thing when I gave notice. I gave 4 weeks notice, not 2 weeks. And I had 4 weeks of fucking vacation, and I had like 8 fucking sick days because I didn't use that shit. Did I use any? I barely used any of it. And anyway, point is, because I didn't like to go on vacation, because when I did, I'd have to spend 2 days fixing all my shit, even though I would lay it out, lay everything out for whoever's going to do my stuff for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's as easy as it could be, like every fucking move.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you fuck this up? How do you fuck this up?
Yeah.
And then the same thing happened when I went to Premiere. And because it was different when you had to put all those tones and all this stuff. There's 7 different tones for the robot stations out there for all those affiliates. And I would break it down for all these people. And I literally had a piece of paper. Okay, this one, this one. I mean, you could not. And I showed it to my boss. This is what they've got. And we've gone over this. So, and I'm on my fucking vacation. I'm on my vacation and my phone's ringing. That shit's getting fucked up. Like, I'm on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be. So, anyway, I never like to take time off unless it's just shutting the fuck everything down.
Yeah, it just seemed to get more careless the more automated they became. They really didn't pay attention to a lot.
And now we're talking 20 something years ago, and now
Mm-hmm.
look at now. It's even worse. It's just gotten more robotic. Oh yeah, there's something I've forgotten about the AI bullshit. We
Yeah.
haven't done a AI summary. Which almost every single time, of course, is
Man, Jesus Christ!
It's awful.
But we do have some deers. Look at this. We got more of a close up. Oh wait. Oh shit, I got it muted. Let me pause it and go back. Ma is on the phone
Oh yeah.
while I'm recording this, so that's who she's not talking to me. She's talking to somebody on the phone. Anyway, get a little more close up than your normal.
Yeah.
Oh my
it's-
God. Come right up to the steps here. She's about 10 feet from the step. This is, I'm trying to be quiet
You're welcome.
and watch her at the same time. She's good size. You know, she's having a feast, evidently weighing through some bread out there. Oh,
Evidently,
wiggling out.
we saw this shit.
God, ain't she pretty?
What a great commentary.
Yeah.
You don't believe how many we get him around here. Oh,
She
Jesus
keeps
Christ.
looking.
But you know what? They haven't touched my holsters.
What you looking at, fucker?
She's looking right at us right now.
What up? About ready to
Hello,
kick.
honey. Those big ears. Doesn't seem to bother her. I'm feeding out. Well, shit, keep me posted.
Keep me posted.
Man, Jesus Christ!
That's hilarious.
Well, shit. Keep me posted. Anyway,
Every time she said something, the deer would look at her.
it was nice to get a close up. I don't know what. I don't know. Just the single now. That's it.
No babies.
I don't know if that's one of the babies that's now older, has been so while, or if that's the mom and the babies have gone off on their own, or 'cause I know, it's my road. I know there ain't none of them on the road, even though I've got video. I've sent you video of them running across the road.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing's been. Ain't nobody got struck yet. But that's one thing with it that social media has given a little closeness more, given a little, I guess, another element of it, given things a little depth or whatever. Anyway, like the community, like my town's community, the towns have their community pages, a lot of them, and you'll see stuff, and get a lot of all the time, my cat got out and there's a picture, or my dog, whatever. Usually a lot of dogs and cats, of course. And when you see that, and then like 10 minutes later, you're driving along, and you're like, oh, whoops, I think that was that cat right there. That's,
No.
Very much part of the pavement now.
We get that, like the lost pets. But there's, oh, and then there's like people like, oh, I have a problem with my garage door. Does anybody know how to fix this? Or, like problems and stuff. But the ones that really drove me crazy are like, I saw you with your husky in my yard and you let him poop and then you didn't pick it up and you left, like people arguing about not picking up dog poop. And I told one, I'm like, I'm out of here. I
Cheers.
don't want to be in this group anymore. All they do is fight about dog poop.
Now that one, yeah, because of being in a small town, you don't really have that. That's
Yeah.
one of the. Oh man, when I lived in Studio City in California in that building for 15 years, we had one of my neighbors, Otis, who got me high on our birthday in 2010, so high that I sat there with another friend. Both of us, we were like this, going, I'm never getting high again. Oh my God, I'm too fucking high. Oh my God, I'm too fucking high. That was the first time I did some wax. And I mean, it was just, and I was the douchebag where he's like, you don't have to take a big hit, and you're not going to even have any smoke, and you barely, it's not going to be like a normal thing. So, just all you need is a little, literally, just not this, not your normal thing. Just seriously, I went, yeah, okay. Like an asshole. Fucking 10 minutes later. I need a drink. Oh my God, I need a drink. Holy fuck, am I high? I am so high. Oh my God. Anyway, the point is, Otis lived in the front of the building and liked to have his windows open. And we were on this street off of Radford in Studio City. And basically our front, the one side of the little bit of the front lawn of our building was like his front lawn. It was his, because I mean that was where his apartment was, in the front. And he'd just sit there and watch, and people right in front of him, and they'd let their dog fucking shit right there and just walk away. Yo, and I mean, I'm way up on the back of the building upstairs, and I'm just watching. All of a sudden, I'm just hearing Otis yelling, like, "Oh, somebody's shit on the lawn again. Somebody's dog shit on the lawn." He's fucking yelling at him all the time. He had these. It was one point where I walked out front, because I didn't go out front very often, because the truck, the Scarlet Cougar, was parked in my carport, which was in the back, literally right under my apartment. So I didn't go out front all that often, but when I would, I'd look over as I'm walking out and over to that lawn, that one half of the lawn on that side where Otis was. You look at the lawn, it almost looked like a graveyard, because there's all these signs, these little tiny signs, like almost like crosses going, pick up your shit, pick up your dog shit, pick up your dog. Like, it looked like a graveyard. Oh, it was fucking hilarious. There was a couple of times where cops got called because Otis was, he got serious about it after a while. Like, don't you understand? That's my window right there. Your dog shits. The smell goes in my fucking window.
Yeah, some people don't care. It's so rude.
And the thing that pissed him off the most was, and that was part of what the sign said too. They would be like, there's a sign, if you're looking at this sign, right behind you, there's a thing next to that tree with bags and a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Because they even had those.
That's the worst part about it. They're all over the neighborhood,
That's one of the things that's beautiful about finishing my hero's journey and coming home, where again don't have that. My closest neighbor is 100 yards away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, besides obviously, besides Mama Deer. Why are you up there? There you go.
Deers.
Oh my God.
We don't need to hear Ma. We can do our own. It's MST3K Deer's version.
I thought she was
Yeah.
eating mushrooms, but
Oh well, that's
you threw bread out there.
well, I threw that bread out there because I dropped it in the sink on accident, and so well, no, it was on purpose. And I didn't want. I was like, I got to the trash can. I'm like, just chuck it out for the. Didn't mean for her to get it. It was actually for birds. I just chucked it out there. Just why throw it in the trash when somebody can eat
Yeah.
it? But then I did it again a couple days later. And it's so funny because I never hear Ma talk about mushrooms. She never says the word really. It's all, not that we talk about it or anything, but I don't even remember. I don't remember her ever even saying the fucking word until, it sounded weird coming out of her mouth the other day. She goes, oh, I saw, thought there was a mushroom out there, but it was the top of a hamburger bun that again,
Hmm.
I purposely dropped in the sink. And then whipped it out there in the yard too, if Neil can say that. And when it landed, it meant to go way into the woods, but it hit that branch that's hanging down that you just saw that you could see in that video. It hit that when I slung it like a frisbee. It hit that branch, went boom, boom. Fuck. Shit, leave it. But it did. It looked like a giant mushroom cap. So the next day, Ma says, thought there was a big old mushroom out there. So like, did you just say mushroom? You never say mushroom. You just said mushroom. Like Elliot on in E.T. Did he say home? Did he say phone? He said phone. Did he say phone? He said phone. Sinus Supremus. What is it? What's the other word? What does he call him? What is that? Sinus Supreme. Didn't we do this once before? No. What is it? No charisma. Zero charisma. Sinus Supremus. Zero charisma. 1982 put downs. Anyway. All right, you can talk now. Sorry.
So you liked the movie then?
Which one?
Deadpool?
Oh, Jesus Christ. What was that? That was 42 minutes ago. Breadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, it would be a better film if it was 15 minutes shorter. It would be, yeah, and it was fun. But there is a point where, kind of like how Gary from Neurotics, how he says, Deadpool is actually, even though he likes the movies, it was one of his least favorite comics because it's, it gets old real quick. One trick pony thing, which, of course, Ryan Reynolds pokes fun at and mentions. But it's still, most of the jokes land and, everybody's great in it. And all the cameos that, and the spoilers, that, the stuff that I'm not going to spoil, like, what's his name being in it? No. I won't do it. There's stuff, you don't know any of the spoilers at this point?
No,
This
no,
far, a week later? Get the fuck out of here.
no.
Dude, you haven't heard about Patrick Stewart? I'm kidding. Brian Cox? James Marsden? No. No, and any of the names I've mentioned might be, but no, they're not.
They even did
The
an
unspoiler
episode.
alert. Go ahead.
They did an episode of Hot Ones. Do you ever see that?
I watched it, and it was...
Oh, you watched it? I haven't seen
Yeah.
it.
Oh, you haven't even watched it. I actually did. It's all right. It's pretty funny, but and it's good always because of Chris Evans, because of the fucking questions that he asks, because it's stuff that it's that not the normal shit.
Yeah.
The stuff even Ryan's going, Jesus, man, you're really doing your work here. Like, anyway, but just
Yeah.
it's always, of course, fun. We should do something like that. Try to have something where we like the binge bowl, see that you could say that Hot Ones is sort of but people would say that the binge bowl was a ripoff of something else. But that makes me think of the Binge Bowl with Ron Ron live shows back in the 90s with Paulo and Vince Margiera, Bam's uncle, I think, cousin, something. Where on one during the show, during the live gigs, they were on the side of the stage eating whatever Ronnie told them to eat and drink whatever Ronnie told them to drink. And then in between, we'd be, we'd have fucking the band, jokes, Fez doing Nature Boy or other stuff, and we had the spelling P that I did with Joe Buffett, the Amanda Payne and her slave Tigger, the wet T-shirt contest, the band again, and back to the Binge Bowl, all kinds. It was quite a show. Anyway, that's what Hot Ones makes me think of, especially when they, when they get into the really hot stuff, and then they still trying to answer the questions, and you're like, and it reminds me of fucking, okay, you guys got to eat this, and then back in the day with the Binge Bowl and the original stuff before my time, if you puked, you lost points. But in '97 in Key West at Hammerheads, the Friday and Saturday nights that we did, the Friday night show, Paulo fucking hurled all over the crowd. I mean, they're like, whoa, we got to have hazmat shit. I mean, that's, the way they talk about that now. There's toxic whatever, like on the plane the other day, people were like, somebody just puked. But the way the headline was, it was like there's, like some plutonium. But no, just somebody threw up. But the next night, because the crowd flipped out so much, had thought it was so hilarious with Paulo hurling, Ronnie changed the rules to where you got points for puking. And Vincey was such a fucking pro, he couldn't puke, so he just kept throwing down the booze so he would puke, and then it was a psycho scene. But what a trip. Anyway, that's what Hot Ones reminds me of. Those old, back when radio was good. Oh, but that was a live gig.
Oh, man. I don't think I could do it.
Oh, I would never do the Binge Bowl. I was lucky doing the spelling P and just getting zapped with the stun gun when I got a word wrong, but I didn't get the cat piss all over me from losing. Joe Buffett lost both nights, even though I don't even remember the first night, dude. I have no recollection. I was so fucking hammered, and I won a fucking spelling contest on stage. I have literally no recollection. It was one of the first things Ronnie said to me when I got there to Hammerheads the next day before the show. Was like, Bat, I got to ask you not to drink. Like, yeah, I don't even know what happened last night. I just know that Joe lost the spelling P. I remember getting zapped. Yeah, isn't there a picture? Don't we have a picture of that? Do I have a picture?
You have a picture. I mean.
Oh, now that I've said it, I got to pull it up
Find it.
in the picture too. If Neil can say that. Do it. I don't know what it's under though. I know. I thought I saw it recently.
I mean.
Blah, da, 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 da. What was it? Spelling P? What is it? With shit
Find it
balls.
here.
Some bitch. I'm only getting my MP4s. My PDFs aren't even. Oh, I've hit the wrong button. That's why I can't see it, because I hit the wrong goddamn button. Sorry, folks.
Now that you cut your hair.
I meant to go to slides.
Now that you cut your hair, I can see that very prominent vein you have on your neck there.
Prominent vein, my.
Had a vein there. It'd be really easy to start a central line on you.
From my from my high blood pressure.
No, it's your vein. I'm sure your arm veins are very visible. Like when I was in nursing school, because Juan has great veins. I mean, beautiful veins. And I was like, can I practice just drawing blood and starting an IV? And he wouldn't let me.
What?
So we practiced on ourselves. We would take stuff from school, practice on each other. Actually, my friend Paige, she actually started an IV on herself. I've drawn my own blood, but it's not the same. You gotta practice on somebody else.
I cannot. I don't.
I
I
know, I don't
don't.
see it either.
What the hell, dog?
Where's the picture of Wayne?
I know. I used to have it.
Accept. Me too.
Suds.
Hold on,
Nothing
everybody. We're checking our phones.
Nothing on Ron and Ron. Nothing.
Oh my
What the hell,
God.
dog? I know I had it somewhere. Anyway, oh, you know what I should have been doing while I was looking?
What?
Should have been playing this.
Oh, so lovely.
She's about
Yeah, that makes
10
it better.
feet from the step.
What the fuck?
We can listen to Ma talk.
This is
You gotta
I'd be
record her
quiet, but
doing
watch her
more
at the same
stuff.
time. She's a good size.
Oh my God.
You know, she's having a feast. Evidently, Wayne threw some bread out there.
Evidently.
Yeah.
Evidently. Oh my God. She needs more proof to make sure.
You wouldn't believe how many we got.
Evidently.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
What you looking at, sucker?
But you know what? They haven't touched my hostas.
What you looking at, sucker?
She's looking right at us right now.
All right, where's that accent from?
Oh shit! I thought that stopped. Sorry. What's that? Where?
I said, where's that accent from that your mama got?
Right here, fucking maniac.
That's a maniac accent. I got it. There you go.
Oh shit! Yeah, and I think that was the second night. That was Saturday night, because the
That's
first
the only one I
night,
had.
the first night I was wearing I was wearing a tank top like I am now. For you audio only vote. But yeah, I had just missed a word. Punch in a little more.
A little more.
The guy in the beard, you know, at the top,
That
that's
one.
Joe Buffett. That's who lost, who ended up having it was called the spelling P. That's parody guy all the way to the left in the black, leading the band.
This
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. And the bass player that he got, his buddy, looks like George Rodriguez from Neil Rogers. Looks like Jorge.
That guy.
It's funny how he looked. I was like, what the fuck? When I met the guy. I was actually supposed to play bass, but they wanted me doing other stuff. Anyway, it was called the spelling P. A regular spelling bee. And, but if you got a word wrong, you got hit with a stun gun, which is what Ronnie just did. And I don't understand. Look at my hand. See how my hand's doing the spasm from getting...
Yes.
But I don't understand why I've kind of got a smile on my face. This is 97, by the way. August,
enjoying
yeah,
that.
the week of our birthday.
Mm-hmm.
This was, it'll be, how many years? 97, next week.
You know who you look like in that picture? To me, I don't know if it's... You look like Bradley Noel from Sublime, the late, great Bradley Noel.
Oh, yeah?
The former...
Who passed away many, 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 many years ago.
Yeah.
Doesn't his son sing for them now?
There. Yeah, his son sings for them now.
Huh, I never noticed that. But yeah, Ron, the spelling P, but the thing was, with the spelling P, if you got a word wrong, you got hit with a stun gun, and you just had to stand there. It didn't matter. Sometimes Ronnie hit you in the kidney. Sometimes he hit me in there. I think it was in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And if the first person to get 3 wrong, I won both nights. had to stand to the left of the picture, the left behind Ronnie. Over there's some steps on the side of the stage, and there was a big, almost like a dartboard, bullseye, and it had a balloon filled with cat piss, dog piss, person piss. I don't know whose, not mine. Cigarette butts. What else? Sorry. Son of a bitch. Something else was in there. Anyway, when both nights when he lost, he had to stand there underneath that thing, about 5 feet underneath it, 4 or 5 feet. Why am I coughing? Starting to piss me off, actually.
Take a drink.
That's kind of the problem. It seems like. Sorry, I wish I'd have muted my fucking. It's like I had it go down the wrong pipe, but it just keeps doing it. Oh, maybe I'm gonna die on camera. That would be cool. That's definitely why I should mute it. Anyway.
I can't do CPR from here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Are you smoking? Is that what it is? Maybe this is a sign.
Hopefully that's it.
Any lung matter?
Just something that looks like escargot.
Eek.
I stole that from News Radio. I just watched the pilot. No, not the pilot. Well, I did. I watched the pilot, watched the first few, rewatched the first few, and one of them was the no smoking. And, and Dave had to quit. He had to quit coffee.
When he's in the studio just smoking and they filled it with smoke. That was funny.
That was a great episode. Oh, even Ma was laughing from the kitchen.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully I'm over this. To finish the fucking story, so Joe had to stand on the steps underneath it, like I said, 4 or 5 feet above him was a balloon filled with all that garbage and a bullseye. And across the bar, God damn.
It's gross. It gets gross from here. Very gross. I don't want it.
And somebody had a picture of it too. Somebody took there was a fan of Ron that snapped the perfect pic from one of the nights where it, was just splashing on his head, and he sent it. He sent us a whole picture. What do they call those back in the day? The big thick books with all the pictures.
Yuck.
What the fuck was that? A photo album.
Oh.
Just from his pictures from Hammerheads that weekend. Anyway, but across the bar was this guy named Rooster, who was known as the big archery guy, and he was like the shit. I'm trying to think of the archery guy in Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. Mm-hmm.
He's basically like the Hawkeye of Florida. You should look him up, Rooster, Florida, Rooster. He stood across the bar and over everybody's head, fucking ping into that balloon and splash, and that's where it turned into the spelling P. And then Joe Buffett had to go back to his hotel room and be like, and act like he was a dog that just got hit with a skunk and rub himself down with fucking tomato juice and vinegar. Poor bastard. Anyway, did you? But the best part was what? The best part was I don't even remember the first fucking night. And I still won. I was trashed. As I drove down that Friday, I drove down with a buddy of mine. And was ready to partay. and immediately started drinking at the hotel because there was a whole bunch of people, all the people that were there, whatever. So we were partying before that. The show didn't even start till I think 9. And then, of course, when I got there, drinking more. But yeah,
You'll be happy to know
fucking
there's a nursing school in Key West. That's where I went to school, and the nurses party in Key West all the time. So if you ever get alcohol poisoning, pass out, ever have any of those issues while you're partying in Key West, know that in that crowd there will be at least one nurse,
and
we can save your life. Maybe. This is what comes up when I do Archer, Rooster, Florida. Just a
shit!
bunch of.
I don't have. Sorry, I'm not.
That's it. That's what I get.
That's hilarious. Put in 1997.
All right, let's see. 1997. Let's see.
He was an archer. He was an archery archer. Yeah, I just said it 7 times.
Oh yeah. Well, this makes a lot of sense here. Hold on. I'll tell you right now.
Look at that big cock on the screen. If I can say that, what else do I have over here? Look at that. Oh, I totally forgot about the goddamn frog.
All right, I get this.
You're not gonna move? What, did you want me to scratch your back? Look at it. You ain't going nowhere. Like, yeah, dude. Oh, thank you. Oh, I need my back scratched. She didn't even go anywhere.
Oh, he's not that big though. He's small.
No. Yeah. Just rubbed his back twice. He didn't go anywhere.
He wanted that back scratch.
That's what I'm talking about. See, them animals, they know they hear. They know they know they're just fine.
Where I grew up. Go ahead, sorry.
No,
No, I was gonna say where I grew up in Perrine, Florida, which is like
it's Pirine.
it's it's kind of like it's before Homestead, but not as far south, I guess. Cutler Ridge area, Perrine. Every night, like the front of we had a fence, but outside of the fence, right on the sidewalk, it would be full of toads. Like I can't even tell you how many. Just every night you look out and on that sidewalk, just full of toads. We did have a canal behind our house, so we always had snakes,
Gator food,
alligators. So we always had some kind of something in our yard, but the front, for some reason, on that sidewalk, it just full of toads, like those brown, but they look like those, like the one you had in that video.
I think you just said the title of this podcast.
They were
Toads.
bigger.
Something at what did you say? Something and a something.
Rewind.
Son of a
You'll see it. But they weren't as big as the one that
103.
I mean, the one you had in your video wasn't as big as the ones we would see.
What about the
Either that or
toad?
they looked they looked big to me, maybe because I was little, but just like covered. It was so funny, like all over. And then when I lived in right by WSVN and IOD when they were in North Bay Village, our sidewalk was always like crabs. We had crabs all over.
Oh, I had the crabs once too.
They,
Oh, you mean
for some reason, I guess they came out of because we lived on the bay. That was right on Biscayne Bay, and yeah, you'd see them walk up the sidewalk. I had 2 dogs. They'd like chase the crabs, and they were blue crabs too. If we could catch
that's
them.
what they call? That's what my stepfather called me. He said you were a dog. You chased those crabs.
And then in the Keys, when it was crab season, there was like parts of
1988 for me. What?
there were parts of the road that would be like they would come out of the water. I think they've fixed that where they can't get out, but they would come out to the road and they would cover the road. just like hundreds of them, like out on the road. And there was a law in the Keys where you can't poach them, if they're out there on the road or whatever. But of course, if you're driving, you're gonna, people would stop and they'd try to catch them. There'd be people with like pillowcases, trying to put the crabs in. But before we left the Keys, it wasn't as bad, I think, because they put up like fences and stuff, along the water so that they couldn't come out. But they used to come out to the street during mating season, covered in crabs.
That's where I got my fucking crabs during mating season.
Yep.
And I tell you what, speaking to a nurse, that stuff that how's that for a story? So I'm fucking got these itches, whatever. And in the house that we were in, my stepbrother and I had basically almost all of the upstairs of this old house. We had a gigantic 2 rooms. So anyway, we're up there, and I just kept. Finally, I went into the other room, and I'm like, what the hell is making me itch? And I'm like, what the fuck? And I take it into him, and I show him. He goes, oh, dude, you got to go show my dad. Like, he must know. Because it was recent. I think it was not too long before that where he was, telling a story about having gonorrhea back in the day. He was like, what is that like? He's like, well, imagine having somebody pull barbed wire out of your dick. I'm like, oh, I guess you don't want that, huh?
Oh, no.
So anyway, then like a month later or whatever, I'm like, what the fuck? So I go downstairs, and and I take him away from my ma, take him in the other room, going, listen. I just found it, it's like he just burst out in fucking laughter, which of course made ma come running in, going, what's going on there, dear? Your son's got crabs, like motherfucker.
Oh God.
Great story, huh?
Yeah.
And there's my stepbrother over in the corner, fucking laughing, pissing himself laughing. And
Oh God.
and there I was going,
Man, Jesus Christ!
but the point actually was that he sends me to the store to get this stuff, and it's got a comb, whatever the fuck that shit was. Shit didn't work. I used that shit for 3-4 days, and almost wanted to burn all my clothes, and all my sheets. And my stepbrother wanted me to burn my shit too, of course. So we shared a bedroom.
What did they get you, like the lice stuff or something?
Yeah, I think something like that. So finally, after 3 days of nothing working or whatever, I fucking finally took a razor and just sat on the toilet, went zip, 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 zip. Never had them again.
Yeah, I mean, they like the hair.
And every yeah,
They
and
do.
everybody. And I used to tell people, if you ever get them, just saying, don't bother with that bullshit. Don't go paying for that shit. Just shave the shit, and you'll be good.
That reminds me of when I worked in psych, and we would, like, when you get patients in, you have to do like a whole body search,
Mm.
And sometimes we would get patients with lice, but it was like advanced lice. I don't know what to call it, because it wasn't eggs. It was actually creatures crawling in their head. Like you look and it's like they have like something crawling. It's like they had.
Man, Jesus Christ!
Yeah. Yep. I remember the girls and I would call it like a prison bath. We'd stick them in the shower. We would use everything we had. Oh
Lighter
my
fluid?
God. Everything. Whatever we had there. Just throw it on them. Oh, God.
Yeah, that does give shit. Kind of gives you a little bit of PTSD to where, I mean, the next couple of times, even after you get rid of them, and then just a little bit of a regular itch, and you're like, oh shit, what happened? Wait, what did I do? What have I done on the last couple weeks? What was her name? What was her name? What was her name? Wait, what was her name? No. And what was his name?
Oh my god.
You never know. And oh man, how many phone calls am I gonna have to make? Remember when they called it VD when we were kids? Remember that? Do you remember that one commercial with the? Can you imagine being that actor? And because it seems so real at the time when you were little, and I didn't know what that shit was. Of course, I think when I saw that, I don't know what the hell year I'm talking, but I remember he's in a hospital or whatever. And he's calling his girlfriend like, "Yeah, I've got VD." It's like, what the hell?
BD.
And that was way before, being told that gonorrhea was like, barbed wire coming through your pecker.
Oh god.
No,
Yeah,
I know.
now it's
I could get, I should go get checked, but at this point, I've never had that. Go ahead.
they call it STIs now.
Yeah, infections. It's because
They
they're not
don't
diseases;
yeah,
they're
they don't want to
infections.
call it disease anymore. Come on.
Kind
Come
of
on.
like, well, it's kind of true, and kind of like with PTS, they're trying to. It's not been working, but for the last bunch
Hmm.
of years, they've been trying to call it PTS and get rid of the disorder part, just post traumatic stress.
Yeah, some people use trauma in the wrong context anyway, so they want
Context.
to make everything trauma. It's like, come on. Come on.
Very, very important word. Context.
Hmm.
That a lot of. It's pretty amazing when it comes to it. Well, sometimes you can understand it with the way people write because some of them don't write with very good grammar, so you can kind of lose. Like, wait a minute, what are they trying to say here?
Hmm.
But to like with Twitter or comments on stuff or stuff, wait a minute, how do you not? Why would you comment with that if it's almost like you don't even know what it means? Like whatever you read, it's kind of funny. No, it's very funny. No, it's amazingly funny. No, really, what it is.
Man, Jesus Christ!
Did a pretty good job climbing out of that hole. He said hole. What were you saying? Something about having gonorrhea?
No.
Oh, that
No.
wasn't you? Oh, it was Juan Jess. How is Juan Jess? Oh, wait, didn't you and Juan Jess's offspring have a little birthday recently?
Sarah's birthday was last Saturday, so we had a little staycation. We try to do this as often as possible. So this is Sarah right here.
All the
Wait,
way to
right
the
here.
right.
Yeah.
For you
She just
audio
turned
only folk, it wouldn't doesn't fucking
18.
matter.
Yeah, exactly. Just imagine an 18-year-old girl standing to the right.
What's with the
um,
big tall Jew?
that's
What?
Groot.
Oh, that's right. It's the Minions thing, right? Sorry, I'm kidding.
That's Groot because this is a
It's
universal. Here we go.
Steve Carell.
It's a universal resort. So it's called Cabana Bay Beach Resort. And we've stayed here several times for our birthdays because, our birthdays are only about 2 weeks apart. So, yeah, so while we were waiting for our room, Gru came out. So the girls were like, oh, we're going to go take a picture. I don't know what the four means, but whatever. That they're doing this.
I
I
don't
have
trust
no
a lot of
clue.
those folks that wear those costumes and do that shit.
Yeah.
Well, on one hand, I'm like, some of these people are fucking perverts. And on the other hand, I'm like, I kind of feel sorry for them because,
Yeah.
it's really warm weather and wearing that
Hmm.
shit, you are sweating your
Yeah.
balls off underneath.
Yeah.
But nothing's as bad as being in a goddamn wheelchair and being at Disney way over to the right behind Sarah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. You
Ugh.
know, but I mean, that it's funny how it wasn't as busy as it normally is, which I understand because, you know, most people aren't going to be able to do this, but um, normally like it's packed. Like you're standing in line to check in. I did like the online check in so that I wouldn't have to wait in line. But either way, when I got there, there was like nobody waiting in the line for the regular check in. So, but it did take a while to get the room. We were sitting out there for a while. So, but Gru came out, but they're only out there for like maybe 10 minutes. And then they switched. It was after Gru, it was the Puss in Boots, the cat.
Oh, I love that word. Boots.
So he came out for a little while and took pictures, and then um, Gru came back out after that. So they take turns or whatever. They're not out there very long, and they have an escort.
Oh, that's what
Because
I
I'm
want to
sure
get for
they
my
can't
birthday, an
see.
escort.
I'm sure they can't see anything. Oh, it was funny.
I
He was
wonder if
playing
I
rock
wonder if
paper
there are any
scissors.
good escorts actually here in Maine. Sorry, what? When?
I don't know.
Because? Why?
I am not going
Green.
to research that for you.
Chartreuse.
But anyway,
Sorry,
this
what were you
is
saying? Sorry.
pretty cool resort, Cabana Bay Beach Resort. It's got two pools. It's got a lazy river. They have a bowling alley. They have an arcade. It's all like retro, like 50s and 60s. They have um, God, do I have any? No.
As soon as when you sent me that picture originally, of course, I looked at I saw the tall one. I went, Jew. No, I'm kidding. I went to the girl, Sarah's friend to the right, and I went, boy, she looks like Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
And then
She does.
then ever since then, I was like, I keep looking at Sarah, going, who the fuck does Sarah look like in that picture? There's somebody that it still hasn't popped into my head, but she looks like somebody. I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe it's Scarlett Johansson. I don't know.
kind of.
It might be kind of, yeah, and that might be what it is. But for those first things, when you see a picture, the things that pop in your head. I mean, like
Yeah, yeah.
Jew, Cyndi Lauper, Scarlett Johansson. It's 1, 2, 3. It's a musical thing.
But yeah. So we had fun.
Sorry, I just wanted to say Jew again. But yeah, I feel bad for the lady in the fucking wheelchair.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I
She probably
noticed
drank
that.
herself into it. It's probably her own goddamn fault. I'm kidding. I don't know.
Maybe.
Obviously, I don't know. But so how long were you guys there?
Just like the weekend. We checked in on Friday and we left on Sunday, so just the weekend.
What else did you do?
They have a really good bar right behind where I took the picture from, right behind me. That's where I was hanging out, waiting for my room.
While the girls did what?
They were just, I'll tell you what they did. Like, while we
Oh,
were
I'll
waiting for the
tell you
room,
what they did, motherfucker.
here, I have a picture. That's what they did. They were on their phones.
Oh my god, they look like
They
they're
were
waiting for a goddamn plane.
they were actually all playing the same game. Like they go, whatever, I forget what it is, but they're all like, okay, we're gonna play whatever they called it.
No,
And
what
yeah,
they're
they
doing,
sat over
they're
there.
making jokes about the Jew they took a picture with. Grew, Jew
But
grew.
I don't know how many people were in this group here, but look at all that luggage. My God.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I'd rather stick
I
fucking
wonder if
needles
they were
in my
gonna
eyes.
stay there for like a week.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a lot of luggage.
So does Sarah actually have a Harley? So she's wearing that shirt. It's a great jersey, by the
No,
way.
she got that at Goodwill
Get the fuck out of here!
for like $8 or something.
Oh man,
Yeah,
score!
I know, right?
Cool jersey.
She loves going to Goodwill.
I used to do that
Yeah.
in Studio City, there where where people used to shit on our lawn.
Hmm.
Down the street there was a Goodwill. Right across the street from the Goodwill was this fucking consignment store that was one of those ridiculous consignment stores. Like, wait a minute, what are you charging for these fucking jeans? What, $80? Eat a dick. What the fuck? You're literally right across the street and get the same fucking, almost the same thing for 10.
Do you remember Edwin's when we were growing up? That was like the thing. The Edwins at
Edwin's?
that time, the Edwin jeans, those jeans were like 80, $90 back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s.
I do not remember that name. I've always
Yeah.
been a Levi's kid since I can remember. I've
I
always
mean,
wanted
I
Levi's.
never got them, but oh my gosh.
I used to hate Wranglers because it seemed like they were tighter on my balls.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, Ma, these Wranglers, they're hurting my balls. So I need some Levi's. And she went, they're $5 more. I went, yeah, but they weren't at my balls. Sorry, I'm just trying to drag this fucking thing into a clip. But yeah, shit. Since I can since I can remember, been wearing Levi's, and then what was it, about 8 years ago, whatever? I switched to mainly cargo pants because I got so fucking tired of putting my wallet on my ass. I like wearing my wallet on the side. So all my shit, basically, I wear nothing but cargo pants and shorts. My jeans and my one pair of Levi's I have left is usually what I wear on stage, where I don't have to have any, where all my other stuff it's somebody's taking care of my stuff, especially my balls. There's the finish. It's all about the balls. Hey, that's where I found those crabs. Balls. My balls. Anyway, stop it. What were you saying? When? Because. Levi's. What the hell were we saying? Oh,
because I was talking about
But-
Edwin jeans. Uh-huh.
in what? And in the 80s, what? The fucking Levi's were 20 to $22 or whatever. And I think when I went to Australia, I think I had 4 or 5 pair of Levi's. And I get over there and they're like, you must be rich. I'm like, no, I ain't rich. Like, you've got 5 pair of Levi's? Those are expensive. I'm like, no, they're not expensive. They're only like, not where I live. They're only 20. Like, those are $90 in Australia back in the late 80s. They were $90 fucking dollars for a
wow.
pair of Levi's.
Well, that was a pair of Edwins here.
And because I had a $250 fucking Datsun B210, just because I had a car, they thought I was rich. I'm like, can I show you pictures of the car? No, wait, that's a picture of my balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not rich. They thought it was so fucking funny for people. It's one of those different versions of people thinking shit about you that it's like, what? No, it's pretty much the opposite of what you're thinking. I don't know how you're getting that, but I understand, 5 pairs of back when, but, and then when I was married, and my wife at one point, she goes to New York on a trip and then comes back with these, these are these new jeans that people are wearing. They're Luckies. I'm like, oh, man, they're nice. They're cool. And I put them on. They're a little tight on the balls, but they made them look nice. Like, man, dude, it seems like it makes your package look nice, but yeah, so what were these, like $30? $95 you paid for these fucking jeans? What? Don't you ever do that again, woman.
No way.
Please, thank you very much, but please don't ever fucking spend that much money on a pair of jeans for me.
Mm-mm.
And now, man, those fucking cargos that I wear, I've had these fucking, I've got a khaki pair, I've got an army green pair, and a black pair, because I'm racist. Because those are my slave pants, whatever that means. And I got 2 pair. Fucking 3-4 years I've had those. I only paid $20 for each pair. Yeah, I don't need a lot. I just need to replace my underwear a lot because of my balls. Sorry.
And they all do the same thing.
They all do what?
Man, Jesus Christ!
Something about a package look. I don't know. That's what they call it, the package look. What the fuck? is that?
So it's Devin Pool on Instagram. So funny.
Now, I watched this. Now,
Uh-huh.
is the thing on the top where the real ladies that aren't AI
Hmm.
looking or whatever, they've got the or filter, whatever the fuck that is on the bottom for audio only folks who are looking at something from Instagram, some video stuff. Now, on that top, are they doing a bit or is that supposed to be serious, the
No,
real
that's
thing?
serious. It's called cougarinternational.com. I think it's like a dating video. You remember those old dating videos that people would, they'd record themselves and like talk about themselves or whatever, and they'd, match up with somebody. I forgot what it was called. But it's like similar to that. But Cougar International, I don't even know if that still exists. I should look it up.
Hit
But
play.
yeah, this guy is just recreating the video frame by frame. Here we go.
So
It's
when you hit
hilarious.
play,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and do hit play because that's a good. It'll be good for because I need to go pee.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So for the audio only folk, yeah, on the there's basically two versions of the video. There's the original on the top, which seems like a bit. It's so cheese dick.
Uh-huh.
But on the bottom, there's where they're filtered and it's dudes looking and just going through the thing like they're almost they're doing a what do you call it when you just lip sync.
Right, and it's the same guy. He just dresses up like all of them.
Oh, so it is him doing both,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
three.
It's the same guy.
Both, all three. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I just passed math class yesterday.
He's hilarious. Both, all three, yes.
All right. I'm going
Ready.
P. You
Okay,
go
go pee.
DD.
I'm Yaya, and with me today are a couple of our beautiful CougarInternational.com members.
Hi, I'm Crystal, and I've always been a cougar. Younger men are living in this decade. They like current music, they like to go dancing, they wear current clothing styles, they have current hairstyles, and they watch current movies. Younger men are still growing and changing. The only way that I can really count on an older man to keep growing is around the midsection.
Thank you, Crystal. Well said.
Hi, my name is Linda. I'm 49, very proud of my age and very grateful. Professionally, I'm a style and beauty expert. Mentally, I'm on the pulse of what is contemporary. It's great to meet new people, both men and women. I mean, I've already made some great new friends, and we can go out together and meet the cubs.
Yeah.
Log on and read my blog post titled Youth is a Gift, Age is a Work of Art, and Do Your Pictures Suck? I would love to hear your comments.
We have a live video chat with Uvu.
Also, we have special events for just the ladies, such as coffees and brunches, where we can dish like the Sex and the City girls do, and that's great.
Come join the fun, and happy hunting.
Oh my God. So it's Devin Pool on Instagram. So funny. I have to look at the rest of his stuff, but he did a great job because he captured the mannerisms and everything, um, of everybody on the in the video. Just so hilarious. And I think I'm pretty sure cougarinternational.com has to be a real thing. Actually, I should look it up. Hold on. Let's look it up.
Look at you on the Google. Is World War III started yet?
Cougar, no. I don't see it here, Cougar International. Oh, well. I mean, it looks like it's a real thing.
Anyway, so it dawned on me while I was making water, Miss Daisy,
Uh-huh.
that speaking of bulls, I told you that when you showed the picture of my hair after I got it cut. Oh fuck! I forgot this part. I forgot that you were supposed to do the pubes joke, and I stole. I went and I wasn't. Did I do that? Did I say something? Did I make the pubes joke when I even though I said that you were supposed
Well,
to?
I said that that Brazilian must have hurt.
Oh, that's it. Okay, then we made the butt stuff, right? And we went into the butt stuff.
Man, Jesus Christ!
Right.
You always go into the butt stuff. Yeah.
Just making sure. I'm sitting there peeing, going, "What have I? What happened in that first hour, 30 minutes? What the hell? Oh, did I step on the pubes?"
You probably did.
And then we actually did get into pubes, talking about the crabs. But have you ever gone to if you go to Greenland, where it's really good, the ladies are big, you get the lobster. Anyway. Sorry, that was a really old Robin Williams joke.
Man, Jesus Christ!
But his joke was about San Francisco. San Francisco people got money. They don't have the crabs, they have the lobsters. But he probably stole that from somebody else. I just hope he paid them. Anyway, hey, I forgot to tell you.
I don't believe these motherfuckers been to the moon neither, but that's just me.
I just want to remind you.
I don't believe these motherfuckers been to the moon neither, but that's just me.
Sorry, a little outburst. I had to. Can you believe? You don't still believe that shit, do you?
For what?
The moon. You don't believe we went to the moon, do you? Come on. You don't have to go very far. Just rewatch the video and just think of some of the facts about phone calls and blah 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 and cameras. Dude, just it's so fucking insulting at this point. And when I finally said I'm almost going to be a flat earther. That's how far I'm going.
Little dance there. Yeah, the river dance.
Don't go that far.
What the hell, dog?
Flat earther.
Why didn't it play the second time? Why won't it play anymore? Look at that. You see the thing? Do you see the blue thing going across?
No.
Look.
No, he's just frozen.
No, it's playing, but it won't play.
He just looks frozen.
That is some fucked up, repugnant shit. Let's try again. What the hell? Sorry. One moment, please. Oh, technical difficulties. That's what some fucking AI will say, right?
Little dance there. Yeah, the river dance.
I mean, it was acting like, almost like it deleted it. So, anyway, had to check.
Weird. Very weird.
Very. Where were we?
Listen.
Oh, wait, you wanted to say something.
It's huge. They're like that big.
Right, because we were talking about crabs, right?
Why do I say anything? They're humongous, huge. They're like that big.
That little face you made, like, that's going to be a drop.
I never saw your crabs. Listen.
Oh, no, you saw my, I didn't want to say lobsters. I wanted to say Florida lobsters. Isn't that weird how the Florida lobsters don't have claws?
Mm-hmm. And they're delicious.
Have you ever tasted the difference? Have you had Maine lobster?
Yes.
What do you prefer?
Florida lobster.
It's
what I grew up on.
That's crazy. There's so much more dry.
No.
There's so much more dry, and you don't get the extra meat with the claw. You just get the back.
It depends on who cooks it, and the tail is it's so much better.
How do you prefer the tail being cooked?
Well, my grandfather, every week, because my grandfather comes from a part of Cuba that
I need some family music now.
Yeah, go ahead. The part of Cuba that my family came from was a fishing town. And so every week, my grandfather would make fish and he would make seafood. And there's a seafood dish that we make
Aren't they the
that,
same thing? But go ahead.
no, fish is one thing, seafood is another.
Oh,
Fish
okay.
is fish.
Oh, wait.
Seafood is crab, shrimp, lobster.
But it was on the sea, so it's all out of the same
No,
spot.
but
See,
they're
that's what I'm
small.
thinking. I get you. All right, go ahead.
So the seafood, he would cook it. It's cooked like in a tomato sauce. It's called enchilado, and he would. Oh, I can't even explain it, but he would take the lobster tail
Sounds like you're
and
trying.
he'd cut the sections. He would cut it into the sections with still the shell on it, and that's how he would cook it in that sauce. Uh, it was so good. I can't even replicate it. I come close, but I can't do it.
And that
He
keeping the shell on while cutting them up it obviously kept them
moisture and
right.
it just it's and it's not overcooked. And he would do that with shrimp and blue not blue stone crab. So stone crab, and then the stone crab would stay in the shell. He would just crack it before he put it in. So all that sauce and stuff would get in there and cook the meat and everything and season it. But then, to eat it, it would just fall apart when you would grab it and you just, but he'd keep everything in the shell and cook it that way. It's good.
When I first moved to Florida and I went to a girlfriend I had worked at this place called Old Florida Seafood House.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in there, as a maniac and looked at the lobster thing and I was like, and I noticed the thing and it didn't have boiled as a way to cook it. It was broiled, steamed, or whatever. Like, wait a minute, you guys don't boil the lobster? Oh no. What the fuck? Not the main lobster. No, that's a kitchen. I can't see how you can't have a big pot to throw that fucking main lobster in instead of doing because all the other ways are more dry. Because boiling it is the same as, it reminds me of what you were talking about with your grandfather. Leave the shell on. Yeah, you boil
Yeah.
that shit for 11 minutes it is.
Mm-hmm.
But then, oh God, getting through it is that's the pain in the dick. Is going, ugh. I'm tired of it. I'd be fine with never having lobster again, even though it's great. Because I refuse to. Some of the lobster. There's some that are good. There's some around here that are. Like, what the fuck? $25 for a lobster roll? Get the fuck out of here.
I know it's too expensive now, but
I got two one time when I first moved back here. I went to the local place and for two of those. That's all I got was two lobster rolls, and I think it was $48. That was 4 years ago, and but they were decent. But I mean, Jesus Christ, man, I was full for a while. I certainly needed some. Thought I was going to need, because of all the bread, some stool softener. But I said, instead of stool softener, what you do is you just use more butter. Because it makes everything slide right out. I ever tell you how much I love butter?
we have a food truck called Monster Lobster that comes over here every once in a while, all over Central Florida, and they have the lobster rolls, and they do like lobster mac and cheese, and then they have these tater tots with lobster on them, and it's so expensive. You have to save up for like a month.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. There was one in L.A. and it spent a lot of time on Wilshire between all those big buildings. That was the lobster truck, and I never did it. As soon as I looked it up on Twitter, I'm like, fuck that shit. I ain't paying that. I don't give a fuck. I don't need that. It's nice though, and it depends. A lot of times though, it's they don't do it. It's not right. The real ones are where it's fresh. I mean, it's literally just been boiled, boom, still steaming, right onto that bun with,
Yeah.
some good mayo and a lot of fucking butter, maybe some
Yeah.
lettuce, and a toaster. You got to toast that motherfucker bun. That's how I remember as a kid, going to, there was a couple of places around here. And like, man, it was just amazing. You could watch them. And then one of them, I can't remember the name of the place. I think it was in Saco or Scarborough. But they also, inside, that was a shack. It was outside where you got the lobster. But inside, it was more of like a cafeteria, big place. And they made their own ice cream. So you have the lobster and you go, like, whoa, shit.
Yum. I
Now I'm
love
hungry.
seafood. I know. I grew up on that every week. Every Sunday we had seafood. Either shrimp, lobster, or crab. Every Sunday.
It took me a while to eat lobster. I was, when I first moved back here, and I would watch people eating it, and then the smell kind of like, yeah. It was a couple of years after I moved back here at 10, before I actually had some and went, oh, shit, what was I thinking? I was listening to my ma, who hates it. Dude, just say the word seafood. It's like a trigger for her. Say the word seafood, and her face just contorts like fucking Jekyll and Hyde. What just happened? I just said seafood. And she'll just keep saying seafood just to watch her like have a tick. It's hilarious. I'll try to get a video of that.
Please.
No, she won't. That would be mean because then all I would hear is fucking.
Oh, man! Jesus Christ!
There is something that where we were going, and I was gonna go somewhere else. Oh, with the lobster. Oh, in that Florida place. Like, you guys, what the hell? It's broiled, and I'd try that. You just broil it. Now they did with the tail, and they split it down the middle, and then broiled it. It's like it sucked all the, it sucked. It was like a too well done steak.
Where was that?
This was Florida, Sunrise, Florida,
Oh.
in the early 90s.
No, you got to go to the Keys.
And I was like, what are you doing here, people? How can you call yourself a chef and not, make a fucking funny face like when I say seafood and my mom goes, why does the chef do that when I say, hey, can you boil my lobster? Oh, because he thinks it's a sexual thing. Oh, there's a story. One of those chefs. So like I said, a girlfriend worked there, and that I had for a while. And there was one night, and she was a bowler. That's why I actually met her through bowling. And one night she decides for us to have a thing with her, have some of those people come and bowl and have a work night bowling, and have some drinks or whatever. And there were some folks. One of those was the chef, one of the chefs, this big black dude who'd hadn't bowled very, very much. And he went dancing around the foul line a couple times. I went, whoa, bud, whoa, don't go by that foul line. And he was buzzed, he's goofing off. I'm like, you're going to slip and fall, man. There's oil out there. Anyway, fucking 10 minutes later, he goes up to the line, does this whole little thing, steps over that foul line, does this little dance, and bam! Head hits the fucking lane, and I watched his hand do just like my hand is in that pic from Ron Aron at the thing after I got zapped. His hand did one of these things. I'm like, oh shit. And I looked over at the front desk, and they were already calling 911. He was out. Like, not even literally 10 minutes before. Like, dude, don't do this. Please, come on, man. No, I don't want you to get hurt. Doop, 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 boop, boop.
Oh my gosh.
But that's what you get for not fucking cooking lobster correctly, motherfucker. That's what I said as they were carting him off, and he was unconscious. I went, you stupid. No.
Yeah, you got to go to the Keys to get it done right.
No, you got to come to Maine. And seeing how you and Juan Jess have never been to Maine, but I have obviously been to Florida because that's where we met. It sounds like, and I already know what you said. I know both. You only know the Florida, so So I hear that did Juan just buy that ticket for your birthday to come up here for a couple days?
Not yet.
You got free room and board. I'll give you the garage.
Oh, nice.
You can stay with the wasps. I'm kidding. They're on the outside. I don't like to kill bees, but man, I got a big wasp nest on my garage lip on the eave, right behind where I park Kate. And I don't. That's so funny. They don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with them. They don't fuck with me, because I got to go right under where they are to trim some grass right around there. Trim. Because I got to go get some more crabs. Trimming that grass. Sorry, that was funnier in my head. But they never fuck with me, even with the machine, with the mower, and then when I do some more trimming, do some edging. When I edge that vulva, the vulva. That's what I call the garage, and the house. I call the house a big vulva because it's my favorite word of all time. Because it's got 2 V's. Anyway. They don't, yeah, because I don't fuck with them. They don't fuck with me. So normally I would take how I normally get rid of those things. How you do it. Get a tall glass of water and just stick it there for a bit and hold it and just let them drown for 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
That way, so it's the best way to not get stung. But that's years ago. That's what I used to do. But now, because you don't see enough fucking bees, I don't want to kill any of them. But like I said, I don't fuck with them. They don't fuck with, and it's a trip. I have not even had one come near me and it's right fucking there, and they're right there. I mean, they can feel it, just like the deers, just like the porcupines, just like those hogs, hedgehog, groundhog, whatever the fuck you call those maniacs. Oh, Stanley didn't come out after I mowed today. I sat and watched. I sat in the mud room waiting to see him through the back. He always, Anyway, go ahead.
When we lived in Kendall, we ended up with a beehive in our wall. Like they went in through the overhang of the roof.
The overhang through the stucco?
Through the overhang of the roof into the stucco. And they were actually in the roof, like the
eave.
I didn't know, although I started noticing there were like dead bees inside the house by the sliding glass door. And I was like, how did this bee get in here? I would clean it up and then I'd come back and then next day there'd be like 2 or 3. And I'm like, why are there dead bees here? And you go outside, I don't see anything. Well, one of our neighbors came and told us, is like every night you can see they would be hanging. It'd be like 2 feet of bee because, they were like, that's where their nest was and they'd be hanging from the roof. So I had to call a beekeeper to come and get them. He tore everything up and took out a bunch of beehive and honey and all kind. They were in there.
Did you get to keep the honey?
A long time.
You could put it on the lobster.
I know. I got grossed out. I told one I didn't want it, but yeah, he offered to give us the honeycombs, but. Now that I'm thinking about it, we should have kept it.
Yeah, today you would, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but at the time I was like, no, I just want them out of here. Just get them out.
That's a trip.
They had been there for a long time, but I never noticed, and it was just right before we called the beekeeper. Was when I started seeing some dead bees inside the house. So I was like, why are there dead bees in here? And funny story, turns out the beekeeper, I found out afterward, he was married to my high school English teacher. They're still married. Yeah. And he's like the most popular beekeeper down in South Florida there, in that area.
Small fucking world. Oh,
I know, right?
you made me think of a small world story, recent one.
Uh-huh.
Um, I had told one of the kids that works at High Road where I get my weed. We were talking about music and stuff, and I mentioned Lenny's because that's our the Lord's London Fog, and he's like, "Oh, my dad used to play there." So, like, wait, so your dad might know Flash or Steve or Dennis? Maybe, I don't know, because he's younger. And then I texted Flash going, "Hey, do you know this name, this guy?" "I think so," or whatever. And then that was it. Forget about it. That was like 4 months ago. And then at rehearsal the other day, I don't know what the hell we were talking, blah, blah, blah. But Flash started talking about the other doors, the back doors. Sounds so gay.
It does.
The back door, man. That's what a lot of people think it's about. It's about ass. But actually, Backdoor Man's about dudes that would come. They were go bang married ladies back in the day. That's what they were called, if I remember correctly, the real thing. It really had nothing to do with the butt, unless that's what the lady liked. Anyway, Steve and Flash are fucking talking about, oh yeah, back when we did did this, da 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 da. I'm like, Tim Mine, they're going back with names because they do it all the time. Where I'll be standing there and they're talking about names for other folks they've played with, other musicians. Yeah, Tim, blah blah blah. Back when I did it, I'm like, wait, that's the dude I asked you about 3-4 months ago, and you were like, I don't know. It's like, wait, I buy weed from his kid.
Great.
Like, such a small world.
That's funny.
And it keeps getting smaller as you get older.
True.
I don't know what kind of, like smaller where, and then for me, it starts getting smaller with just because I went after certain things, in Florida, in the business of radio and television and stuff. So turn on the TV and there's so many times, and I don't do it to brag. I'm like, hey, I'm like, I just, there's all these fucking funny stories when I see, and just if I am watching TV with somebody or, oh, I've actually met them and it's a really funny story, blah, blah, blah. And some people take it as, oh, he's bragging about, no, I'm not bragging. Just tell me a fucking funny story. Like living in Nashville. Because the only reason we lived there was because my ex-wife was one of the VJs on CMT back when CMT, like MTV, back when they played music. What was that joke every year, the anniversary of MTV? What, now they're 53 or something, or 43, and oh, thanks for the 43 year, and thanks for the 12 years of music. Same thing with CMT, where, all of a sudden it turned into fucking Dukes of Hazzard reruns, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Bunch of bullshit, but it doesn't matter because the music sucks now anyway. It's so gross. It's pop. It's disgusting. I don't even know half of it. I've got, like, PB went to some fucking, like, what concert were you at the other night? Oh, what was the name? Sneeze? I don't even remember the fucking name of the band. Something Sleep. I don't even remember the name of the fucking band. Apparently they're pretty popular. Well, I never heard of them, but they're like this pop country sort of thing, which was really starting to pop. Not to, overuse the word, but that's what was happening 20-something years ago when we were in Nashville. The Kenny Chesney, Tim McGraw stuff, and all those, which I met a bunch of them, and I worked on some videos as a production assistant, like, and I worked on, they did remember the rock star or whatever, they did a country version of the American Idol thing. Oh,
okay.
Puppy making noise?
He's like right here. Dude, what is wrong?
Just throw a treat.
It's just I don't have any. I wish I did.
You gotta be prepared. Anyway, like, what was it? Buddy Jewel. I remember I was the guy letting the folks in that whole thing where for the tryouts for the next country star or whatever it was in 03 or 02, 03, whatever the hell it was. It was Buddy Jewell that won, and I remember seeing this guy in line going, "Oh, look at this, the fucking long hair and the trench coat thing, the duster coat and all this. What the fuck is this?" And I see him, because the line, and I'm dude going, "Okay, next, yeah, you go to this booth over here." There's like 4 booths. And anyway, and then he goes over to the booth, starts singing, and I'm like, "Holy shit." And then he went on to win, so it was like one of those, like, I thought this guy was some douchebag, but he murdered. Whatever happened to Buddy Jewell? But anyway, that company that I worked for and the guy that owned the production company, one of the owners of the company, his wife was my wife's stylist at CMT. So, it was a nice little 4-way.
Yeah.
Business-wise. And he was hilarious. He had him telling me a story about working on a couple of porn movies in the 70s in New York as a producer.
Nice.
Like, what was the name of that again? I gotta look it up. I probably could find it now, and I don't even remember. Anyway, there was one thing where he said, "Hey, I have this gig in what is it? Same thing, California, not Henderson, rich neighborhood, whatever. You're going to this musician's house, but it's not at the house. It's in the barn in the back, which is not, It's a barn, but it's, I don't know, but that's what we'll be setting up upstairs, this whole thing, and we'll be sending you an email with the address and all the information. All the information didn't say anything about the band, the musician, who the fuck was what it was. I don't care. I'm just going to go and help fucking move shit around and get paid, pretty decent money back when I had elbows, and you have elbows. Anyway, so get to this nice house, go drive all the way back, and really cool barn on the outside. It seems like a normal barn. You go inside though, and over here there's a bunch of motorcycles and stuff, and it doesn't have animals in it, but except until we walked in. But all this stuff. Anyway, we unload all this the gear, normal thing, and I go to use the restroom in the barn, and I'm standing there taking a piss. I'm like, man, what the fuck? All this Brooks and Dunn shit. There's all these, the bathroom just full of Brooks and Dunn pictures. Like, Jesus Christ. I'm just thinking this is some rich person place. I don't think the artist owns this place. I just think that's what we're going to be recording with somebody in this place. Like, man, whoever this is, serious Brooks and Dunn fan. I go back out, zipping up, going, by the way, where are we anyway? Whose house were we at? Oh, Ronnie Dunn's house. Oh, that makes sense. I just thought it was some super fucking fan, like Dennis told me that he knows this fairly rich dude who's a super Doors fan that literally sometimes is for fun walks around in brown leather pants with the belt. Maybe someday we'll get to play for him, if I can say that. And then not too long after that, being at Ronnie Dunn's house, it was a Christmas thing that you can probably find. It was a CMT Christmas thing in this roundabout upstairs. You can sort of tell it's in a loft area. It's really cool. It was a Christmas thing that they aired in 2003, I think. Anyway, a few weeks later or whatever it was the Flameworthy Awards, they call it, but it was the CMT movie, video awards. And of course we were there, and at one point we're in our regular chairs, but we go underneath, in the tunnel to go to the bathroom and get a drink, and then we come back out, and it's the same thing like at a baseball game where they're going to hold you until the inning's over, and then you get to go sit down. So we're standing and realize we're standing right behind Ronnie Dunn, Kix Brooks, and Glenn Campbell. And Glenn is supposed to be sober, but he's not. And he's just babbling on to Ronnie Dunn, and Kix Brooks doesn't want anything to do with it. And I look at my wife. Look at what we're seeing 2 feet in front of us. Holy shit! This is what we really came for. It was just so neat to see the reality.
Yeah.
Because everything was about a show and recording all this fucking, and just, I just, what it is. just the absolute opposite of this fucking podcast. What do you got for the last 10 seconds, sweetheart?
Nothing. MTV's birthday was yesterday, 43 years old, August 1st, 1981.
And
I was there.
thank you for the 12 years of music.
Exactly.
All right, love you, brother.
Love you, sister.
Look for yourself. We're just fun babbling lecturers and dabblers. Remember, we're all Neo, aka1. Sorry, ran long. Had to bump comedian Dave Landau again. Thanks, Gary. Daddy loves you. Messing with my peebles. All that time, and it took me that long to hit that fucking ramp.